So I have like little to no platform on YouTube, but I think I should talk about the David situation. A lot of people have been using this time to talk about when they discovered David as an artist and how they personally feel about his music, and I am, to say the least, very, very disgusted by that. Honestly, I can't say that I'm not, because I am. Because this is not about music, and this isn't even about him as a person. This is about what he's capable of, right? A lot of people that really like his music have been defending him and spreading false information. And at the end of the day, like, I understand 110% separate the art from the artist, but like, is that like is that one of those things that you would rather defend on the off chance he didn't do it? Like, you would rather tarnish your image defending somebody capable of harming children, not just people, but children. No adult man should date somebody that is not even old enough to drive. I don't know. I know very little has been confirmed about the situation, but I also know that this could go one of two ways. Either they are able to find sufficient evidence enough to hopefully at least get him with a gross misdemeanor, because yeah, by the way, all that's gonna happen if they find bodily remains in his house is a gross misdemeanor, because they can't find a weapon. Nobody's confessed. They're trying to make it look like it was an accident, and I'm sorry, but chopping up somebody's daughter is not an accident. Freezing someone's child is not an accident. Leaving that body to rot and thaw out in the trunk of a Tesla is not an accident. That Tesla was left well before you left for the tour that you said, oh, can't be me, I'm on tour, right? No, this whole situation is ridiculous, and it is disgusting, and you know, it feels so hard to watch, because like I didn't know Celeste, obviously, and I want to offer her family whatever condolences I can, but like, that situation itself is very tricky, because it's hard to determine whether Celeste's home life really was that bad or whether she was just struggling herself, because growing up is very hard. Growing up is very, very hard, and a lot of children have struggles with their mental health. My kids. A lot of children have struggles with their mental health that they don't even understand. And so you can imagine how growing up with something like borderline personality disorder or something similar like that as a child can truly make just small amounts of like normal throughout the day stress feel like actual abuse. And so it's a very wide spectrum. It's hard to know, because we will never know. We will never hear from Celeste. And you guys still defend David. And I do not put the blame on her. I wish that she would have been smart enough to like, you know better than to go off with a grown-up, but you know, that comes down to like the environment, and you know, I don't know. I like to believe that God has a plan for everyone and everything, but this situation is very sad. When I first found out about it, I was taking a shower, and it was like, I was so confused, you know? I was just like, what? And I usually don't use my phone when I'm in the shower, but I put on a video where they were just like talking about everything they knew so far. And then I just started thinking about her mom, because I couldn't fathom to think about what her life would have been like since being missing, but I could imagine what her mother's life. I mean, I can't imagine the extent. I could never, but I can imagine the fear of not knowing where your baby is, if she'll come home, and like that growing, and like, I just could not imagine that phone call. David is still out there. David, allegedly, all of this is alleged, by the way. I'm not happy to say that, but I said it. I believe it. There's 2 to 3 suspects now. I don't know. It really sucks to see somebody that could have made such a difference, that could have used their voice to help any hurt, and that sucks. And like, I know, no big deal, whatever, blah blah blah, but yeah, big deal. This shouldn't be normalized. This shouldn't be normalized. None of this is okay. None of this is normal. None of this behavior is all right. I mean, as an artist myself, I have done like a lot of stuff for the creativity aspect, but none of this has been okay. None of this. Like, I, like, honestly, myself, when I first, like, you know, like, found out about David, whatever, it was cool, you know, whatever, cool music, whatever. And then I didn't really care too much or listen to too much of him, because, like, whatever, you know, it's not really my style. I was just, like, from here to there, this song, that song would pop up, whatever. But there was one day where I found, like, I was just on YouTube, and there was, like, a short of him recording music in his sister's closet. And I remember watching that and being like, wow, like, I can do this. You know, I was like, I can do, like, that's how I started. And then the whiplash I felt literally like 5-6 months after that, to have just, like, I didn't care enough to have a mental image in my mind. And for every time I doubted myself, to just kind of be like, I'm sorry, I am also a mother and I have 2 kids. And they're really loud. But just to have, like, every time I doubted myself, to be like, it's okay, because you can start in a closet. You can start in a closet. And then for that, like, image to be that, I was disgusted in myself for not, like, having a superhuman ability to be able to sense that through a screen, you know? I felt disgusted by the fact that I had ever allowed him into my ears. I felt horrified. I felt dirty. And so for me to still be, like, having to separate that from, like, me, because I'm not in it, I'm not part of it, I don't have to, like, feel the weight. I don't have to punish myself for having heard a few songs in the past. Like, that separation that I'm doing, while the whole internet, well, not the whole internet, but while half the internet is over here like, no, you guys are stupid, David would never, he's just this cute, quirky dude, he's not capable of such things, even though literally, I have gone on deep dives. I could do another video low-key if y'all want me to break it down for you. I have gone on deep dives. There are so many weird red flags in all of his shit stuff. I don't want to raise my girls in a world where celebrities can go on Discord and pick up little kids and keep them for years until their bodies turn up in a trunk somewhere, God knows how long after they were murdered. And, like, I don't care if it was an accidental overdose. That's no matter how you look at it, her death is murder, okay? Her death is murder because the adults around her, 1, were not protecting her, 2, should not have been around her, and 3, are unqualified to take care of a child. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I just had to say something. You know, I had to come on here and, like, cause, like, I don't know. I know that my voice doesn't, you know, spread super far, but at least a little bit, right? And, like, I just feel like there's not enough attention on this because it sucks. Nobody wants to think about it. Yeah, but this is not going to be a case where Celeste and her family get justice unless everybody's mad enough. Because with everybody being like, they're going to cover this up for him, they're going to help him, they're going to want it easy, smooth, whatever. They're just going to give him whatever charges they can fit, drop it. And, like, you know, the other way this could go is that he's going to end up, you know, they can't charge him. They can't pin him. Insufficient evidence. He's going to try to come back. And then some people are going to be like, no. And then other people are going to be like, oh, my God, David, we knew you were innocent. But he's not. He's not. For that girl to be in his car, she was in his care. Point blank, period. That is a crime. That is unethical, immoral, and illegal. Period. Nothing he's done is okay. Even if he gets somehow to walk away from this, he will never be innocent, and he will always have a stain of evil on his soul, and you should not support that. I don't know, man. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the voice. You know, you might not have the platform, but you can still try. Because I don't have the platform, and I'm still gonna try. Because this stuff is ridiculous. I've been losing my mind about it, and like, it's this is so much for so long, and it's, I mean, just go look at the autopsy and coroner's reports. That says enough. I mean, the way they describe what they had to work with, it's not even human, you know? I hope that we can bring justice for Celeste, and I hope, David, I hope you never feel a sense of being understood again. That's gone. You don't deserve that. You wasted it's talent. It's a gift given to you, and you wasted it on being evil. Evil. I don't use that word ever. Evil. Anyways, I hope everybody stays safe. Keep your kids inside, off the phones. Keep everybody inside safe. Stay up to date. Stay informed. Do your research before you spread information. I mean, go to the source, man. I mean, for real, this situation is tough and it's scary, and it's always hard when it's like so many news and media outlets are in on it and like nobody's talking. But like, we need to talk, you know, we need to talk. This is ridiculous. Anyways, I don't know. I don't care if you like, I don't care if you subscribe. All I care about is that you hear what I'm saying, you do the research. I don't need you to spread the word, but just stay informed and sign petitions. I don't know, if there's something you can do, do it. You know, maybe you want to volunteer with, like, you know, like group homes and systems of foster, like, I don't know, it's rough out there, okay? And like, when you're that age and you live that kind of life, this isn't surprising. This is an outcome that was probably foreseen. I myself was a foster kid, and I have a criminal record. It was expunged because I've been a good grown-up, but it's hard to be out there like that as a kid. Especially if you feel neglected at home, you're gonna obviously gravitate towards somebody older, which makes it really easy to find yourself on the other side of a grooming endeavor. And so I sympathize with her. I don't sympathize with David. I don't give a fuck what happened to you in your childhood. There is nothing ever that can excuse your behavior. You are done for. You are past salvation. I usually don't feel the need to get on here, ever. Before I go, if you're interested in checking out any of my music, I guess that you can. I'm a small artist. My name's d4vd, and I don't really care about that though, but this is my channel. This is where I be. None of that really matters. What matters is that we focus on the bigger issues at hand. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just tired of the situation being the way that it is, and I am not confident in my ability to make a change, but I'm confident in my ability to try. And I don't know if it's as simple as just sitting here and putting a quick little video on the internet. I mean, you could do that, you know?